Hi, and welcome to the Really Telling It Like It Is program. I'm Apostle Bacer J Baker, who is a doctor in psychology. And I don't even need to ask you if you remember last week's program. If you did not see it, you need to go ahead and do it. You need to check out last week. I have my son, Tony Mason, who I have again with me this week on the program. And he's the one that wrote the song, that God wrote the song through, Ambassador. And he shared that from his heart. He's here today, and I'm going to have a couple more surprises for you. So come on, Tony, come on in.
Hello,
and let's
hello.
talk.
Yes, ma'am. Good to be back. Thank you. It's good to see you again. Beautiful as ever.
You also.
Oh, thank you.
You know, when we were on the last program, you know, one of the things of it is you mentioned something about your book, Rediscovering
the Atmosphere of God.
The Atmosphere of God. I'm really looking forward to that. You know, it's an interesting thing that God has done. I rewrote the book, Smile, Laugh, and Be Happy. And the new one that he had me to rewrite is God's Will for You. And I just got a text earlier today. That's this book for you that don't have it. That's Be Happy, God's Will for You. And then I just finished writing The Spirit of the Fear of the Lord.
Oh, wow.
The fear of the Lord in you. It's all about in you.
Yeah.
And when we a couple things, when you have this book out, I definitely want to have you back on the program so that people can hear about it. And probably Arena's mother will probably have you on her program, because she is a editor. She is a
wow.
Yeah, she's an editor. She is a whatever it is. She does all of those things. She does my books.
Awesome.
And she has a program on. Actually, it's an hour before mine. She has a whole hour program. I can't do no hour. And she has an hour program. And she discusses books and different things like that, because that's her genre. That's something that she really loves. She's a teacher of teachers and all of these different things. So,
oh, wow.
You haven't met her yet, really, haven't really met her, but you will. So, but you were talking about something that was so, one of the things that's in me. I listen to people sing. I listen to different music and a lot of things that feel good. I mean, I can dance to a lot of music, but the thing is that what has happened is that we have done music in order to make us feel good.
That's right.
See,
that's right.
And that's what I did in the juke joints, or whatever you call them back then, way back then,
Not that long ago.
And all that. I mean, it made me feel good, and I could rock it out on that. But that's not the thing. And then we have not. I mean, I'm mentioning these things because I want you to bring them forward. We have not done many songs from where our place is, our seated position. And
that's good.
And we have not done songs from being our sonship.
Right.
See, it's one of these things. See, people can tell you about me. They can tell you about your biological mother, your grandmother. They can tell you, they can say things, and then you can say, that is not their character.
Right.
Okay. You can look and you can say, well, Dr. Baker compromised on this and she did this, and you'd be looking at him, are you out of your rabbit ass mind? That is not who she is.
Right.
Right. That's so why is that? Because of that relationship. Well, people are not writing songs from sonship, from a relationship of sonship, where they're writing songs and different things are for people, and I'd like to talk about that. And I'd like for you to take about 5 minutes to talk about that, because
Yeah,
there are a few songs that I'm going to have you to sing, and I want you to know up front, you don't need to get anybody and or
that's right.
anything. These are songs that he has written. These are songs
Yes,
that God gave to him. He has
that's
them all, whatever it is that you got to do, and all of that kind of stuff. They're his,
right.
okay?
They're
So
all cleared.
block those off,
That's
okay?
right.
I mean, and you can disagree with what it is that I've said if it's off. So I don't have a problem with that. But just talk about some of those things that I just mentioned.
You were talking a little bit earlier about the book and about I was prophesied to back in 1998, and I've had a lot of prophecies in my life. I was prophesied to in 1998 by a prophet, Nina Marie Leslie. She's no longer with us, but she told me some years ago. She said the Lord was speaking through her, and she said to me, she asked the question, "Will you be my David? Will you?" Will you teach people about praise and worship? Now, all I knew at that time is that I loved God, and I had just, I had a love for God, and I wanted to please Him, and I had a desire, and I led some worship in church. I was just starting with the church I'm at with Greenwood Christian Center, which is now Transformation Church. I just started, and I just remember she laid hands on me, and I was in the floor weeping because I said, I don't know how to do. God, why would you ask me to do this? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to teach people to love you. I don't know how to do that. And so I was fighting with God. I was fighting with Him in my mind. And so over the years, from that moment forward, over the years, I had to learn about Him before I could really like think I was, qualified to even speak. So before before all of that, before these songs that started coming. I've written two praise and worship CDs now. I've done two other CDs, studio CDs, and done a lot of music. But when you talk about the songs to Him and songs from a seated position, you have to know where you're seated. You have to know who you are, who's sitting in the seat, and be okay with that. I had to settle. I can't do this and do that. I have to do this. And so I had to be seated in a position to even be able to receive. I learned, Dr. Monroe told me this. He told me, he said, God will never tell you what you don't want to know. So that's why Jesus spoke in parables, because He knew there were some people that didn't want this, but I had a desire for it. So I had to learn about Him, and then begin to, as I write music, I'm writing this book, is called Rediscovering. I had to think, okay, God, what is it that makes you, what is it that pleases you? You're a king. I've never heard that concept in church when growing up. You're a king, even though it's in your word. And I've heard preachers say they use the word kingdom and all of that, but they never explained what this is. So what is it that I can say or do that's going to please you? You're a king. Now, I don't know anything about pleasing a king, so you got to teach me. And so over the years, He taught me. And that helped me over all these years to be able to finally sit in a seat where I understand when I write things to Him, when I say things to Him, I have a greater understanding now of who He is, what I'm doing. And my stuff to Him is vertical. Now, I had a journey to get here. It took me a minute to get here. But now when I write, I'm writing from a position today. Those songs I was writing back then, I was on my journey. But I had the revelation, but I was still on the journey. It was like the song, the message, the person had to catch up to the message. I had to catch up to the revelation. I was saying it, I was prophesying these things, and I wasn't living them yet. And so that's for me, that's what music and my singing and the messages that God gives me, that's what it's about. I've lived these things now, Dr. Baker. Now I'm sitting in a place now where I can absolutely say I'm an ambassador. I'm walking things out of my life, but I'm walking them out. I'm not going back. I'm not looking to go back. I've been there, done that, and a lot of bumps in the road, a lot failures, all kinds of stuff. But if I'm gonna worship, if I'm gonna sing a song that says there's a leader, he's in me. It's in me. It's me. He's in me. It's him in me. That's the hope of glory for real.
Before you bring that one out, because I want you to sing that in just a moment, but here is something that is interesting and probably the reason that he has this projection. Um, Last week, you sung, I'm an ambassador.
Ambassador. Yes, ma'am.
An ambassador does not have a mind of their own. Neither does an obedient son.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
An ambassador, and I spoke briefly about this, we are an embassy,
Mm, heavy.
and being an embassy, when we purchased the property in Israel,
Mm-hmm.
when that property was purchased, that property it is not a property in Israel. That property is the United States of America.
That's right.
The Bible says that you're in this world, but you're not of it. You are the embassy.
Wow.
You are the embassy. You're in this world, but you are kingdom property.
Kingdom property.
You are kingdom dirt. This dirt
heavy.
belongs to the king. You are kingdom property. And so now, as you learn from Miles, and I did too.
Yeah.
And from the thing, you are not responsible to take care of that property.
Yeah.
The king takes care of that property. So you got to realize who it is that you are as that property. That's number one. Number two, as an ambassador, then what's in you, and the song that you're getting ready to sing right now, the leader in you is the one that's only what the king says.
That's right.
Because the leader inside of the ambassador is the one that only speaks what the king says.
My God.
So I want you to share that song with us now.
That's a very, very heavy revelation, to think that to know that we are literal representatives of it's us. We are his rep from heaven on earth. It's us. It's this dirt. I love that kingdom dirt. That's so real to me now. Like, it's really real to me. I think I have come to the end of me, and am dying every day.
To this level of the end of you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And it's beautiful, because the struggles and the things that, when I say struggles, I mean just this, I was raised, my father, they call my dad the Godfather. And if that'll tell you anything about his life and how I was raised, it was a constant battle in me am I going to be this guy, or am I going to be this guy? And my father's influence in my life was so strong that I was living that life in trying to fit that life into this kingdom. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So let me see here. I'm going to sing a piece of the second verse, because it just says, I'm breaking free from places that keep me trapped in my past. In my heart, I'm moving forward, but in my mind, it just won't last. So I tell myself I can do it, but somehow I don't. Now's the time to make a choice, sing a brand new song. It's time for me to let this lion in me roar, and there's no more holding back. Gotta let this leader soar, 'cause this world is mine to conquer. I gotta stand up and be king. If you feel the leader in you, then you've got to let him lead, 'cause there is a leader inside of me, and he is a man that I was born to be, and I hear his voice keep calling me, wanting me to set him free. 'Cause there is a leader, and he's inside. Oh, he's inside of me. He's inside of me. Ooh, he lives inside of me. That verse, that second verse for me, that's when the breakout came. Breaking free from places that kept me trapped in my past. Because in my mind, my heart, I was moving forward, but somehow I felt it wasn't going to last. And I had to tell myself, I can do this. I can do this. But that was his encouragement. That's the Holy Spirit's encouragement in me. I can do it. So I had to make a choice and start singing a new song. I remember writing that song and recording it, Dr. Baker. I can remember sitting at the engineering station, and the lyrics were coming so fast. It was hard to write down the revelation. It was hard because it was coming too fast. And I remember just weeping and weeping. And God is saying, he said, this is you. This is who you are. And the fight in my mind was so strong. I was like, that's not me. I was supposed to be this, because my father's influence was so strong. Because I love my dad. I love my father. He passed 2 years ago, and it's still, and it was the same way. Dr. Monroe's influence was so strong. So I had this dichotomy. I had this thing happening. Papa was saying, this is you. This is the revelation God was showing me. And my natural dad's influence was fighting against it. And I just wept and wept. And I kept writing and I recorded it. And now this song today, now this song is so ridiculously real to me. And it happened so long ago. I wrote this song in 2006. 17 years ago. So it was like, it took me all this time to get this revelation, man, that I am a representative. I am a leader. He put it in me to share this message about his kingdom and to share it with people, to let you know who you are. This thing is real. You are an ambassador. Your opinion, and I had an opinion, don't matter. It only matters what the king says. And trust me, there was a television show that was on when my parents were children, and I watched a little bit of it some years back, called Father Knows Best. And I'm telling you, Father knows best. Jehovah God knows. He knows best. So I had to ditch my old way of thinking. I really had to literally have a washing of the water, the word. I had to wash every day. I can't get up a day, even today. I gotta wash every single day. Mama, I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning, and I'm in this office right here in my studio where I keep my music gear and this stuff, and I am on my face washing. I gotta get it because I can't go back. I can't go back. There's purpose for me. I knew it was out there. I just didn't know how to get there. And hearing from you, man, you have no idea. Last week, you have no clue how much you heard from the Holy Spirit, and you called me. Oh, I'm sorry. You called me, and because I'm telling you, I know my mind and my enemy, they fight me strong. So I got to get up every morning, and I won't miss. I'm not going to miss because I can't go back. I can't. So when you called me, talking about that ambassador, talking about that representative, in that moment, it shifted again. Like, okay, that's right. This is who I am. This is who I am. That's who I am. That's who I am. And every morning and every moment that I think about it, I think I'm a representative of the King of Kings, man. He called me, little old me. And I have to stop and say he had a whole lot of mercy because he knew what he was getting when he called me. He knew I was a mess. He knew I would be a mess. He knew, but he also knew that I wasn't going to let go. He knew I was going to fight every day to fight that good fight of faith, that faith in who he said I was. I had to buy it. I had to believe it. I had to know it. I had to drink it. I have to eat it. I have to wash with it every day. So that's, gosh.
You know, Miles told you, and I told you also, that God was going to have you rewrite these songs because now,
Yeah,
as you re-sing them, even
that's
as
good.
I'm hearing you do this now, it's a
That's
different
good.
thing. You see, and I understand you greater than you could imagine.
Wow.
See, my past was a lot like who your father was. Okay.
Wow.
So I learned something.
Wow.
I learned something from God a while back. He told me my thoughts, my opinions, and my feelings was as worth as much as a TURD in the toilet.
Right. Yes.
If they're not his,
Yeah.
then I have no business with them
Wow.
because he is the king. So now, with the time we have left, I want you to sing.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, a king in the kingdom. What a strange thought to me. How could this happen? How could this really be? Am I more than I am? Am I more than what I see? Tell me what this means to me. A king in the kingdom. Oh God, I'm a king in your kingdom. I'm a king in the kingdom. How could this be? So show me what it means to me. Ooh. I'm a king. I'm a king in the kingdom, but he is the king of all kings, and he crowned us with his glory and with his majesty. We're crowned with his glory and with his majesty. So tell me what this means to me. To be a king, a king, a king. Ooh, his kingdom. Wow.
Hallelujah. Splendid royalty.
Wonderful.
A peculiar person.
Oh my gosh. Peculiar.
You can tell I know the song, right?
You know the song.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
I'm going to
wow.
have you back, your book and all of this.
Wow.
Because, son, I want you to know, not only are you, I want to let you know something in these last couple of minutes. Not only does God have you for this, but God has you a voice in teaching. You see, the thing of it is teaching people how to worship is remembering some things, remembering who he is and being able to talk to him. Because worship is not just about song. Worship is about being able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
What you're talked about is that you're having a conversation with God. And you can hear that in your music. You can hear that in your worship. You can hear that in your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Tony, this time has gone too fast. And as I said, you're going to have to return.
Yes, ma'am. I would be so honored. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's Kingdom First TV is on. Letting the people know it's on Roku, it's on LG TV, it's on Fire Stick, it's on iHeart Radio, it's on TikTok, whatever. It's Rumble. It's all of them things, all that stuff out there. I'm just learning all them things, but you know, it's on all of it, and it's LGTV put it all over the world. So this is
wow.
that it is that God has given us this platform, and so you will be back. Okay,
Yes,
and we will be talking. So
wow.
thank you, all of you, for joining us and allowing us to come into your space. Again, this is Apostle Bacer J Baker, who is a doctor in psychology, having an honor of her son, Tony Mason, share his life with you. And we're going to be back. He is going to be back because we're going to talk more about his testimony.
Yes, ma'am. Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Remember to sow into the ministry. Bye.
Thank you for watching Kingdom First TV, your station for kingdom